Hi everyone, welcome inside the studio with Hubbard Street Dance Chicago. My name is Amy Hall Garner and I'm here working with Hubbard Street Dance Chicago on a new work called As the Wind Blows.
Amy Hall Garner, I saw her work originally several years ago. I saw a piece of hers called Virtues on Ailey 2. From the moment the curtain went up to the moment the curtain went down, I was transfixed.
And Linda asked me to come and work with the company. She gave me a call and it was probably one of the best phone calls because I've always wanted to work with Hubbard Street Dance Chicago. The first day in the studio for me was their first day in the studio. They're in this new gorgeous facility here in the Water Tower. So it was everybody's first day of school.
It's really fun to be kind of breaking in the space with her. It's this new energy, which is really nice to have.
The Hubbard Street dancers are unique, but at the same time, they're very familiar. They speak the same language as I do. We look at dance the same way. And it's very rare when you get that kind of time in the studio with dancers who are collectively on the same page as you.
Amy has such a broad dance vocabulary. So she has been trained in ballet, modern, jazz. She's danced on Broadway. And I think she brings that vocabulary with her. And so it actually creates something very unique. It's very refined and regal and yet gritty at the same time.
She does just kind of like fuse everything that she's done and like things that she's known. And so she isn't so much stuck to like one way of moving. And I think she's also very open to seeing what we do in response to like what she does produce. So like maybe she has a few moves where she knows she wants to like start a lift a certain way, but then allowing the dancer to see like how you fall out of it or something, or where you travel to next.
She'll see you do a little something and she's like, oh wait, what's that? What is that?
She's pretty open to just seeing what will happen. So there's like a structure, but there's also a nice freedom within her choreography.
She takes the time to really discover and collaborate with us. You know, this is what it's for. This is why we do this, to find these exciting moments where our brains all link onto the same page together. It just feels good.
Amy is a musician at heart, and so she has that unique ability to actually make the music come alive.
Anytime I create movement or a new work, I always have to find my score. That's like my blueprint, my foundation. There's 4 sections of the work. And the first section is by Debussy. It's Syrinx. It's a flute solo that my mother always played. My mother's a flutist, so she always played it in the house practicing when I was a little girl. And I would always say, oh God, that's that piece again. But I know it so well. And so it kind of just fit with what I wanted to say, and like a nice opener, a nice breath of fresh air. And then we do actually have a Copland piece in here. It is a piano solo that is very personal to me in creating it as a foundation for that. A lot of times I like to do things that the movement and the music marry together. And of course you have inspiration that comes from within, but this particular solo is very personal. How I created it is very personal, and what I shared with the dancers about a member of my family, and that it comes from that. And I think these dancers are so intuitive and they're very sensitive. And so I felt comfortable enough to share that and to start that process off a little different than I do other things that I do. I just started seeing personalities and gifts that they could bring to the piece. They're very easy, they're very effortless to create on. They're understanding of your process, and they're, not that they're with you, but they support you. And usually it's the other way around. The choreographer has to support the dancer. But in this group, everybody's supporting each other. They have this form of community, which I've never seen. And it's very magical to create in that setting, and it's a luxury to create in that kind of energy and feel safe.
I'm hoping that the audience will feel joy.
Joy.
Joy, that we're back in the theater. Joy seeing the dancers on stage and just have an appreciation of dance. To see art and let it hit you the way it's gonna hit you, regardless of what the piece is trying to say. I have a personal connection to it, but if you saw it, you could see it in a completely different setting and make it mean something totally different to you, and I love that. And the quote that it kind of inspired the title of this work is, we'll just have to adapt and change as the wind blows, taking what life gives us as it comes. We're in that moment right now, As the wind blows, as things come and go and change, we just have to keep doing what we're doing. We keep moving.